Good morning, everybody. It is Meteorage H my forecast, guys, and welcome back to the video. Hope you guys are all enjoying your wonderful Sunday Sunday morning, and this is going to be my last day of winter break. I'm not ready to go back to school. I do apologize for my morning voice, and you're probably wondering why I'm posting super early. It's actually because I'm going to be quite busy right after this, and I'll have another video later this afternoon. But again, I'm going to be doing another video with this upcoming pattern change here. There's a couple new updates, and it's also going to be a U.S. forecast. So we're also going to be looking at the radar as well. But again, this is going to be a video where they're both together. I was going to be doing them separate today, but there's actually a new topic I actually had to talk about later this afternoon, and you're going to be seeing it a little bit today as well. But again, if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, guys. It really means a lot when you guys support my channel. Also, be sure to share the channel to any friends or family that you think are going to be affected by this extreme heat and extreme cold temperatures. Again, we're going to be seeing exactly how long these temperatures are going to last, how extremely hot it will be in the east, and how extremely cold it's going to be in the western United States. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into this video. So we're quickly going to be looking at like I said, we're going to be quickly looking at the radar. But again, as we get later into this Friday, we're just going to be seeing a system that could bring a ton of rain throughout these areas in the Great Lakes. There's going to be seeing some scattered snow showers throughout the western United States. But again, it's not going to be too bad. And then we'll actually be seeing some flooding threats throughout Saturday. That could definitely become a big threat, as we're going to be seeing some flooding here to the southeast. This is what I'm going to be talking about later this afternoon. Going to be seeing incredibly heavy rain throughout Mississippi, even areas into Louisiana. We're going to be seeing lighter rain out here into the northeast, again, it's going to be the 11th. And it's even going to get a lot worse throughout areas into Georgia. Look at this incredibly heavy rain. This could definitely cause significant flooding again. Going to have another flooding weekend, which is not something we're looking forward to, as we're still seeing flooding threats from this weekend. Again, it's just going to be heavy rain. Again, because it's going to cause widespread flooding. That's even going to bring some heavy rain all the way to the northeast. So definitely something that we're going to have to really worry about. And then we can, even by the 13th, we can have another system, a snow system that we might have to keep an eye on throughout areas into the northern plains. Going to bring some snow throughout the Dakotas, areas all the way near Grand Rapids. Going to bring some snow all the way into northwestern Colorado. Again, it's not looking like it's going to be really extremely dangerous. Really, it's not going to bring blizzard conditions likely, but it could still bring in some areas could bring some heavy snow, such as Duluth, central Minnesota, and even areas near Grand Forks and even Fargo. Again, it's still a little bit too far to really say anything about it, but again, that can cause another rainstorm by Wednesday throughout the southeast again. So a second wave of heavy rain throughout the southeast is going to cause another wave of just possibly flooding. And then we can even have a northeastern snowstorm by Thursday, the 16th of January. And that could be something to talk about. But again, this is just too far, guys. So now let's just look at the 6 to 10 day outlook. And we're just looking at the radar really quickly. But now let's get into the 6 to 10 day outlook. Alright, so we're going to be looking at the 6 to 10 day outlook. It basically looks the same as yesterday. But again, we're going to be seeing above average temperatures throughout much of the areas in the eastern United States and Midwest again. It basically looks the same again. We're be seeing up to a 33% chance of above average temperatures to a 90% chance, which is basically a very high chance for you guys getting above average temperatures, especially out there in the southeast. That means you're not going to really see below average temperatures really for basically a long time. So the other areas with like a 30-50% chance, that means they can have a better chance for maybe seeing a couple maybe days with below average. But again, these areas, it's just going to be incredibly warm, especially throughout the eastern coast. It's just going to be incredibly warm. Could be seeing spring temperatures likely, especially in the Gulf Coast. And again, that's what we're looking at there. And then we'll be looking at the western United States again. We'll be seeing just incredibly cold temperatures, all the way from a 33% chance to a 80% chance for below average temperatures. Definitely really be a lot colder throughout the southwest. Going to be seeing up to 7 to 15 degrees below average in some areas. Going to be seeing just dead of winter temperatures. It's going to be incredibly cold. And yeah, the western United States really needs this, as it's just been really warm for the past couple of months. And they just need this cool down. So definitely gonna really start feeling the cold temperature in the western United States. Again, it's gonna be all the way from the Dakotas to the western coast. But again, that is the 6 to 10 day outlook. Now let's take a quick look at the 8 to 14 day outlook. Alright guys, so here is the 8 to 14 day outlook now. So again, it does look similar as yesterday, but actually the only really good thing about this is that it looks like the warm temperatures have actually moved east a little bit, which is actually good. So it looks like the cold temperatures out here into the western United States are somewhat finally pushing this heat out of the east. So this could mean we can have a cold front coming back after really mid-January. So that means we can have all this stuff come back to normal after mid-January. Because again, it was all the way the warm temperature all the way near all the way like near Wisconsin, all that, and now it's kind of pushing a bit more to the in the east, and the cold temperatures are right there now. So that means that could be a sign that they are pushing the heat over. But we'll find that out when we look at the tropical tidbits and the European and all that. But again, here we're going to continue to see these incredibly warm temperatures. Again, it's going to be lasting for a very long time, up to 2 weeks just of spring temperatures. And again, up to a 33 to a 90% chance for above average temperatures, which is incredibly high, especially from a 7 to 90. That is very high. And that means you're really going to be seeing the worst of it, and you're going to be seeing basically the longest duration over there of the heat over there. So definitely be seeing the worst of spring temperatures, especially throughout much of the East Coast. In the Southeast, that's where we'll have basically the best chance for above average temperatures. And then with the East Coast, that's all the way from areas from Wisconsin down to the West Coast. But again, that goes all the way from a 33% chance to not only a 70% chance. So that's still incredibly high. But again, it's not 80 now, so it has gone down a little bit. But it actually has become a lot more widespread. The whole West Coast and almost all the Rockies are under 70% chance. That means that's our best chance for seeing below average temperatures. And it's just going to be incredibly cold in these areas. We're about to find out exactly how cold. So as we get into the next 96 hours, this is basically where we see our first major warm front. Again, we're going to be seeing a little bit of a cold front in the northeast, and then before this warm front, because again, these all start on the 10th, so it doesn't really cover what's before the 10th. So of course, like I said, we're going to be seeing a little bit of cold fronts throughout the east, and even a couple of warm fronts throughout the west. So this pattern does not really come up until January 10th to January 11th, when we really start this pattern really starting, and then it's just continuing. But again, we're going to be seeing our first major warm front throughout the areas into the plains, the Midwest, all the way to the Southwest, South Central. That's where we're seeing basically our first major warm front. Going to be seeing up to 11 to maybe 13 degrees above average. And then, like I said, by the 10th, we have this pattern really coming in now. So here we have the cold air coming throughout the northern plains, going to bring it up to 8 to 9 degrees below average. Look at this heat, though. It's just going to get a lot worse. We're going to be seeing up to around 16 to 20 degrees above average throughout these areas in the Ohio Valley, especially Indiana. That's going to stretch all the way down to the areas of southern Tennessee. It's going to be just very widespread spring temperatures. Going to be seeing just a range from 10 to 20 degrees above average. And this is going to get a lot worse here. And it's going to be getting by later, the 11th, Saturday. This is going to bring a widespread up to 21 degrees above average. Again, we're starting to see this colder air. As you can tell, much of western Canada is starting to cool down now. So that is when the cold air is going to really start coming throughout the western United States. Again, the cold temperatures are going to come a bit later than the warm temperatures. But again, it's still going to be a very widespread cold temperatures. Again, all the way from Maine to Florida, we can be seeing more than 15 degrees above average. And then we have our second warm front right after. We don't even have a bit of a break from this cold or from this warm, except you're far northern Maine. But look at this cold front, though. It is a massive cold front. It's going to bring in up to around 20 degrees below average. It's going to be crazy how cold it's going to be again. It's already started bringing some negative digits to single digits throughout much of the western United States, and then we're going to be seeing these spring temperatures at our second big warm front. Going to be seeing up to 12 to 16 degrees above average for much of the Ozarks here. And this is definitely our worst warm front here. But just look at the cold air. It's going to be getting all the way to the Midwest now. So this is why you see like a little dip here. It's kind of, that is the jet stream. But again, we're seeing incredibly warm temperatures throughout all the way from the East Coast. We see up to 16 degrees above average. That's exactly how widespread and how big this is. And then we're going to be seeing these colder temperatures, just these winter temperatures. But there is a new change. There is looking like there could be a cold front from the 17th. Like I said, looks like stuff can come back to normal. So this cold front that's going to cause the warmest warm front will eventually bring in the colder temperatures after the 16th. Like I said, it will come back to normal, and then we'll have another warm front here, and this one's going to be a lot worse. And this is all the way to the 21st. Could be seeing up to 22 degrees above average, and then we're going to continue to see these cold temperatures. So it's basically looking like these warm temperatures, this pattern's going to last all the way to the end of January. So we do have a break within mid-January. We're going to have it come back to normal, to even below average throughout the east. That's going to last maybe 2 or 3 days, and then we have another warm front coming. That's the reason why it's going to last so short. It's going to, that warm front is just going to push that cold air out. We're going to quickly be looking at the European model. So again, by the 8th of January, we're going to be seeing, like I said, this warm front, and then we're going to be seeing this cold front out here into the northeast, and even the Midwest. Again, we'll be seeing up to 7 to 9 degrees below average. You guys have to enjoy that. Even though if you're in the Midwest, you might be seeing a bit of a cold air sooner than the southeast and the northeast. But so you're definitely need to enjoy this, as you guys are not going to be used to the temperatures you're going to be seeing. Or basically none of you people are really used to seeing this in the winter. That's why it's like 20 degrees above average. And again, we'll be seeing up to around 7 to 9 degrees above average. And then even in some areas, we'll be seeing 11 degrees above average. And then as it gets into Friday, this is when this cold air really starts to come in now. Like I said, this cold air will come a bit later. Going to be seeing up to 14 degrees below average all the way over here. And that's going to come down, all the way down over here into the west. We're going to be seeing again up to 7 to 9 degrees above or below average, and then we're going to be seeing up to 14 degrees above average throughout many areas in the northeast. Going to be seeing up to 7 to 9 degrees above average throughout the south central, and this is going to get a lot worse. Going to be seeing up to around 15 degrees above average all the way from the northeast to the southeast. Going to be seeing this colder, getting a lot colder throughout, especially the southwest. Going to be seeing close to around 11 to 13 degrees below average. Going to see a little bit of a warm up throughout the Sierra Mountains, but that won't be anything to worry about, as it will get cold again. Look at this warm front though, and look at this cold front, 23 degrees below average. Look at this one, 20 degrees above average. It's almost a 21. This is going to be throughout areas into the northeast, including New York City, including the DC area, including Harrisburg. Almost all of Pennsylvania will be more than 20 degrees above average. This is definitely bringing a ton of threats throughout spring temperature wise. You guys might have to pack these jackets away for a couple of days, maybe even a week or two, and then it looks like maybe by end of January, depending on what it shows, we could maybe have to put them back. But you guys in the west are definitely gonna have to keep your jackets out, as we have this major cold front that's gonna bring it below freezing, below negative digits. Going to be seeing 17 degrees below average. Going to be continuing to see up to 15 degrees above average throughout much of the mid-Atlantic and southeast, and then continuing to see up to 7 to 11 degrees below average. And then we have that worst one. Going to be seeing up to 23 degrees above average all the way throughout all near Buffalo, New York. Going to be seeing another area where we can be seeing 19 to 20 degrees above average at the northeast. And then we'll have, looks like this is going to be the cold front that ends this warm front again. This is the 15th, so this could be the cold front that we saw in the GFS. We'll find out tomorrow, that ends this cold air, or ends this warm air. So again, we'll basically have stuff come back to normal for just a little bit. So again, guys, this is just crazy. Again, it's just a monster system, or monster systems. But again, by January 12th, we're going to be looking at the temperatures really quick. Going to be seeing some 60s out here throughout areas in Texas. But let's actually just get into the highs. But again, like I said, look at this cold air we're seeing in the west. Negative 15 degrees throughout areas near Montana, up to negative 21 throughout far northwestern Montana. Widespread teens going to be seeing up to 19 degrees near Portland, Maine, and going to be seeing up to 8 degrees near Seattle, and even going to be seeing these teens getting a lot closer to the New Mexico border and all that. And then as we get into the highs, look at these highs. This is going to be incredibly warm, up to 72 for Dallas. Going to be seeing all the way to 58 near Joplin. And widespread 50s and 60s throughout the coast. Look at this, negative 27 degrees areas near Seattle, and also even near Boise, we'll be seeing up to 8 degrees. Negative 11 degrees throughout Yellowstone National Park. Gonna be seeing these 20 just coming down to Kansas. You can just see this cold front line that's just gonna push this. Warm air out into the eastern United States. Going to bring it to negative 24 degrees for our areas near Fargo. Going to bring it to negative 11 near Wisconsin. Even bringing some little bit areas near slightly below freezing. Going to continue to see it to negative 9, negative 14. This is going to be the cold front that brings in that cold air for the Midwest for a little bit. Look at this, negative 31 degrees, guys. This is going to bring in incredibly cold temperatures. Now, this is what I'm talking about in January. This is what we see in January. It may be below average, but this is definitely what we're going to be seeing. And then look, this cold air looks like it's going to take over. We're going to start seeing some 20s coming closer. But look, this warm air is not going to let it come in. It's going to come back out and bring some widespread 60s as well. And even look, all the way into Cleveland, we'll be seeing some 50s coming in. So as you can tell, we're definitely going to be seeing this warm up. But again, by like the 16th, we're going to be seeing, like I said, stuff going back to normal. I'm going to be seeing up to 24 degrees. We're going to be seeing possibly the best chance for seeing below freezing temperatures. But again, at some point this week, I'm going to try to have, maybe even next weekend, I'm going to try to have these videos in separately so they're not too long. I know I made this one shorter. But again, that's going to be something that we definitely have to watch out for. But again, I'm going to try see if I can get these videos and get these region videos different in different videos, so I can use the east and the warm temperatures in one video. I know I've been saying that for the past like 2 days, but I feel like there's a big topic I need to talk about as well this afternoon, so I wouldn't really have that much time to do it today. I don't think I'll be doing it for the whole week, because again, I'm just gonna be very busy coming back from winter break. So I might just have this type of video, like they're all together, basically throughout much of the week, and then maybe by Friday, maybe even Thursday, I'll possibly have them separate, unless some big snowstorm comes, or even flooding. The flooding threats, I'll probably have these videos like every other day, and then I'll have other topics as well, so you guys don't get bored. But yeah, without further ado, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, guys, and bye, guys.